truth. Aren't we, as the ones who supposedly have truth, supposed to value it? And yet, sometimes I don't think we do. And I know this is something that I've harped on a little bit. There's a new deal making its rounds on Facebook. Another one of these, Facebook is evil. Look, they've blocked this beautiful picture that's patriotic and religious. How could they do such a thing? And I know it's been shared at least 500,000 times. It's going viral. How horrible and evil Facebook is. And the truth of the matter is, this is somebody who's actually done this as a stunt, who took a few minutes and embedded in the data on the image a couple words that would trigger Facebook's filters, and then they did it again in the metadata, which is further embedded. So that way, when Facebook's scanning the picture, it pulls up these words. I believe one of them is destroy. And so Facebook is immediately going, whoa, this may be showing something that's not appropriate, and so it filters it. That's what's happening. The person who posted this picture deliberately set it to trip the filters so it would hide the image, and then people would go, oh, how could evil Facebook do it? It's a propaganda clickbait. It's a lie, essentially, is what it is. But people aren't learning why or what's going on. They're just immediately going, Facebook is evil, and they're pushing this thing out. Far from the first time we've seen something like this go on. And you can go back and see all of the different outright lies and misinformation that people in the church have pushed out among other people in their effort to portray truth without ever checking it. We go all the way back to the days of, the mail letters. If you open this letter and send it out to 5 people, you will be blessed. To chain emails that get sent out with the same kinds of things. We see something that says copy and paste or hit share, and we go, check out the brain, click OK. And we send out stupid stuff. So folks, if a child is missing, is it going to be posted randomly in your community yard sale group? Or don't you think the police would be the ones posting it? If you were honestly going to get $1 million for forwarding an email, do you think that would actually be how they would do it? Or for sharing a Facebook post, you're going to get a free dinner, and everybody who likes it will get a free dinner. Do you really think a company can afford that? Or the good old, if you don't copy and paste this to your profile, then Facebook or whatever company is going to own all of your material and sell it, and you won't get anything, but you have to copy and paste it saying you don't give them permission. This has been going around for years, and yet people are still posting it. No, Facebook isn't going to start charging you $10 a month to access it either. But we don't think, we just do. This is one of the reasons we've got all these scammers calling from other countries, because we're not thinking enough. We're suckered in because we're just dumb. Not that we have to be dumb. We're just not using this thing that God gave us to think about stuff and analyze it all. And we've been doing this forever, but it's getting worse. I was actually looking through my computer and found a couple screenshots I took of a couple of chats from people back in COVID time, where I had made a post and they commented on my post with a bunch of lies and misinformation. One of the guys was insisting that COVID was not real, a government conspiracy to take over the world, even though the president at the time was the guy he trusted more than anything. It was all these different conspiracy things, and I deleted it. Like, there wasn't a single thing in this post that was true. And he got mad. Hey, you're just cutting off stuff you don't want to hear. And somebody else chimed in that, hey, it's an echo chamber. I'm like, no, I actually want my Facebook profile and what's on it to be true, to be verifiable, to be real, not a bunch of lies, conspiracies, and other stuff, because people look to me to find out what's true. And if I've got lies all over the place, they're not going to believe me. But we want to latch on to these things, in the hopes that they're true, but not ever actually check it and verify it. And so we get our news and our science information from whack jobs on the extreme that have nobody actually verifying it. But hey, there's somebody out there who says it, and that's what I want to hear, so therefore, that's what I'm going to believe. And then we wonder why people aren't trusting us. As a minister, both where I lived as well as online, one of the biggest frustrations and the hardest things for me to do when I have somebody I'm talking to is I have to dig through all of these lies and misinformation and just a mistreatment that they have been given by believers. And I have to kind of break it all down, detox, and say, no, okay, all these things that they tried to say, yes, they were wrong. Yes, they were, some of it was absolutely untrue. Here's the truth. And I have to build up this whole entire relationship on truth while tearing down all this misinformation first before I can ever get to where we should have started at. I know a lot of people that they want nothing to do with believers or Christians because all they have seen from them is lies and just things that are very obviously not true, like this original Facebook post. But because they don't take the time to screen it, so they look at all Christians as liars. This is what we do, is we push out a lie, we make ourselves look like we're dumb and don't care about truth or deliberately deceitful. And yes, there are people in churches that are deliberately deceitful, and then nobody else wants to hear it. The ones who desperately need to actually hear truth have seen so many untruths come from those who have it that they don't believe them anymore. And we're pushing people away from God because we would rather push lies out than actually trust in his truth. All that to say, take some time. If something's too good to be true, it probably is. If something is too bad to be true, it probably is. If something is just ridiculous, it probably is ridiculous and not true. Take some time, think about things, fact check them. 30 to 60 seconds to look something up on Google and whether it's true will solve a lot of your trouble. It doesn't take too much. And yeah, those sources that are from the other political view of yours, a lot of times they're not wrong, as long as they're not extreme. Don't be afraid of different opinions or different views, because there may be truth there that you need to hear. And ultimately, our truth comes from the Word. When we get worried or paranoid or afraid of something, what's the Word say? Make sure your words are really true. Make sure that you verified them. Make sure you're accurate. Pursue real truth, even when it disagrees with what you want to believe or what you want to think. Real truth ultimately is what we need to be building our foundation on. Thanks so much. God bless.